Not so long ago, I saw a property that I thought was a good property. It was a block of flats, and within this block of flats, it was in a township, low density area, and I wondered whether this was a good property. Within this property, my friends, I really thought it was a good deal. It was selling for round about just below 2 million rand, and there was round about 70,000 cash flow coming out of here. I said to myself, whoa, there is a good deal. After assessing it, I then realized that it was built illegally. But today, my friends, what we are going to be talking about with my good friend Dumisani, who's a town planner, is how best, when you see a property like this one, what can you do to make it legal? So Dumisani, welcome to the tribe. Dumisani, this property here, we saw it and we thought it was a good deal. I mean, around about 70,000-80,000 rand was coming out of it, with good tenants that were said to be paying. We saw the rent roll, the property face brick, it looks beautiful, but it's built in a low income area, a township, and this is the only property that is like this. To me, it raised some eyebrows, and that's why I sent it to you. And when we started talking, I then said, Dumisani, if I'm to buy this property, what should I do to make it legal? Because it is illegal. But maybe let's start to talk about why it was illegal in the first place, and then we'll jump on to solution it. Is that good?
Thank you, TJ. Maybe let's also, like you say, let's define first. When we say a building or a structure, it's illegal.
Right.
It means it was built without having one of few things.
Right.
Number one, it does not have rights, meaning town planning rights to be there.
Right.
Or the structure itself does not have what we call building plans that are approved.
Right.
Or it was not built according to the standard that it was approved for it to be built.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it might be one of those. Okay.
Yes.
So those are the things, and for you to check maybe, how then do you check? Okay. It's a matter of getting a zoning certificate.
Right.
Or a letter of approval of an application, whether a rezoning or a consent use, is to ask for an approved building plans. And when you look at the building plans that you are given that are approved and the structure, they look similar, yes or no? That's
right.
when you can be able to. Then a building plan like that also in some areas would come with an engineer certificate that will say the slab at the first floor was done proper, and the engineer was there and approved of it. It will come with things like an occupation certificate to say people were authorized to now they can occupy and start using the building. So that's how to see whether it's legal or illegal.
Ooh, Dumisani, you've just equipped the people in the tribe. You know what they're going to do? On every offer to purchase, they're going to write provide us with the, what did you call it again?
Zoning certificate.
Zoning certificate. They're going to put it as a condition. They'll put a condition to building plans, which is good. You should do that. But I think what might be complicated is the certification occupation certificate. I think it's fair to bring this in, but for older buildings, you might not have that certification in place, right? So my friends, what I'm basically saying is here is, don't get too intelligent and lose the deal. Find a middle ground in terms of the things that you're looking for. Be reasonable to it. If you're not finding the right information, check in with a professional like Dumisani to say, is this still good for me to go ahead? I think that's what we also want to caution people here, because now all of a sudden they are out there, they can't find all of these things. I think half the time I can't get any of these things. I need to call you for it, for building plans and so on. Many people don't even have that at their fingertips. But let's go ahead.
Yes. So once you have this documentation then will prove to you that this building is legal or illegal.
Yeah.
However, also when you say a building is illegal, it does not mean it cannot be legalized. So there's ways and procedures of legalizing it. The only challenge might be to ensure that the structural integrity, it can be contained or it's sound That's the only thing that an engineer can be able to tell you there, especially if it's a double story or a triple story or has several floors.
Yeah, I mean, this property we saw it with, it's a 4-story. So no doubt we need to have an engineer looking at the property.
Yes.
Do they just come out and look by merely looking, or do they have instruments that they check? What happens?
Yeah, there's instruments that they will check. There's a way that they will look at the building.
Right.
The most famous one that they will normally do, they'll go to your foundation.
Right.
And try and see if they can get a piece of that foundation, cut it out properly, not compromising any other thing, and take it for assessment. You know, to just check it to say what cement, how much cement was used, how much what was used. They can be able to detect it, but not moving away from that, because you have this structure and you are interested in it. Like you say, you saw that it makes an income that you cannot let go. You want to have that kind of thing.
It's a financial sense, but I'm also worried about the risk. That's why I came to you to say, brother, help me to make a decision here. Is this still a good deal? So now we're looking into the intricacies of it. The finance, yes, but the intricacies of it might be a hot potato.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also to caution people to say, like you said, don't rush to sign up a deal, but also don't delay to do much. I'll say don't rush, because you do not want, should any eventuality, anything happen and someone dies there because of this thing being illegal or the structure collapsing, you can be held liable. Culpable homicide and many other things, you see. Or your insurance not even paying. Let's say no one got injured and then something happened, the building collapses. You want to claim from your insurance, they say, can you have a building plan? You don't have one because you never asked for one. That will be where the insurance will say, we are not paying because we believe this thing is not legal.
I think not so long ago, we heard in the newspaper of a guy, I think it was just before COVID, who had turned an industrial warehouse into a residential, into rooms, right? And there was a fire and a couple of people died. I think he got about 8 to 10 years or something like that. It's in the public newspapers, so you can check it out. But how can I make my property legal, bro? I want to move in. I think it's a good deal.
Yes. So maybe let's talk then about how to make it legal. Okay?
Sure.
First, as I said, you check for information. If the information says otherwise, so you'll have to first get the land use rights in order. Part of getting the land use rights in order, it's a rezoning, it's a consent use, depending also on the number of units that are there, depending on the municipal policies, what you do to permit. Okay? While you do that, also then you get an architect now to draw your building plans.
So wait a minute. Let's talk about the land use.
Yes.
Right. Is it possible that you can do basically with retro? Right? So you're saying it's allowed to retro. Are there any penalties that will come with the retro?
Okay, so when you are a new buyer of that building, chances are you might get away with it to say, I'm a new buyer. Okay?
Right.
But then you'll have to give evidence, like a title deed to say it was just registered now and all of that. However, also the municipalities are catching up to say, like we said previous, ignorance of the law does not exempt you. You should have asked for those things. So yes, you can apply for what is already there. Okay?
Right.
And applying for it, yes, might come a bit at cost, not only a fine from the municipality per se, because then now you need to do several investigations. That might not have been done.
Sure.
One of them being a geological investigation to find out if where they've built the structure, isn't there any dolomite? Is it not we are not gonna wake up one day and it is collapsed in? You know? It might be that you need an outline scheme to check in terms of the water pressure and the sewer that is released, the affluent there, is it able to hold or handle what people are using there? You see? So there will be other professionals that you will need to bring into place. Okay?
So to understand basically what you're saying here is everything else that we've spoken about, which needs to be done, you as the new buyer, you are now doing it.
Yes.
If you're in property investment, at some point or the other, you've had to evict someone. And I know, my friends, it is a painful exercise. But I'm here to tell you that for the last couple of years, I've been using a company that is called Expello. Expello, basically what they do is that you pay them a monthly fee, and over and above that, whenever you get a delinquent tenant, they will come and evict that individual free of charge, because obviously you've been paying, right? And over and above that, you don't have to do anything. But guess what? I have managed to organize a good price for you. And the link here that you're seeing, which is called expello.link./TJ Tribe, gets you a great discount from Expello. So my friends, don't be caught with your pants down on your tenant. Just Expello them with Expello. It is TJ. Let's go back to the video.
So there's no shortcut just because the building is there.
No. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut. You see,
Right.
The only shortcut I can give you is a shortcut to say, if you caught it earlier, you can ask the person that you are buying from to say, this is the process. You can have your own different negotiations, the two of you, of how you do it. However, the realities are, moreover, if you're going to have rentals there, if you're going to have students there, my great advice would be, have the building legal. Would you be happy to have your child staying somewhere at rest in a building that is not legal? And
Right.
point in view, the one you were referring to now, we have an investigation here in Gauteng where a former constitutional judge is now presiding over, where people died, and it was found that in that building people had put in shacks in there.
Sure.
Outside it looked like a building proper, but inside there were shacks illegally, so people had to lose life. So these things can lead to a position where you even lose a life. So we are saying, before you lose a life, let a town planner come and assist you to legalize the building. It's not something impossible, it's possible. It can be legalized.
If I hear you correctly, and if I put my head of doing business, you are saying it's possible to legalize it. And these are the steps. So we've spoken about the land use, which you specialize, which is the town planning. But the other point is obviously, how do we legalize this for the building itself, the structure? And you said in your office you've got these people that can come in to help, the engineers, the architects, and so on. This particular building that we spoke about, I could see that they had built 100% of the entire property. So when I saw it, I thought, this is what potato, let me move away. If I understand then, basically what you're saying, there is ways to correct it. However, the risk could be too high for you to correct it in your name. So if I think this is a good deal, and I want to pursue it, and the other ticks of the structures and so on are looking greenish, I want to call it a solid green, I want to correct these things whilst the property is in the other guy's name, the seller's name, because the risk is still with him. And the day that I get all my compliance correctly, it is the day that I'm going to take the risk, because the building now is now compliant. That's my business thinking here, if I'm really looking out for this building. But a layman turns, Dumisani, I'm gonna run, bro. I become a Joseph, I'm like, hey, this is not a good deal. But yeah, so thanks for this advice, Dumisani. I want to ask of you, how many of these properties do you see people doing corrections?
Wow, lately it's quite a number of them. Moreover, where there's, and I'm not saying people must not invest there, please hear me very well. Moreover, where there's student villages or student accommodation areas that are in close proximity to the university.
Right.
Because people see it as there's a need. They will start allowing students to use their properties, and they start building one more room, another room. But it's just been built. There's no building plan, there's no rights, there's no all of that. So recently we've been receiving quite a lot. I'll say 30-40% of our work is now assisting to correct such.
Yeah, but Dumisani, we said we're not going to talk on camera about things that I bring to you. But now you are putting my dirty laundry out there. I'm correcting the things that I have to decide. But anyway, my good friends, that is it from us, and I'm hoping that this video has given you some value. If you have any comments, ask in the comment section. Dumisani, he's our resident town planner. We have a resident legal who is Pateka, and now we've got a resident town planner. That's him. He is here to help us, right? That's his job. Basically, he's here to help us. And within all of this, my good friends, you can add value onto your business. If you can't find a town planner who's Dumisani, find one in your local area and create your own relationships, build your portfolio correctly, buy the stuff that's also illegal and make it legal. It is I, your boy, TJ. Boom, boom. We'll see you on the next video.